Ma'am, people like you need to wait outside. Maya Richardson adjusts her wide-brimmed hat and fake pearls, watching the yacht manager's dismissive sneer. She spent 15 years building Neptune Marine Holdings into a maritime empire, but today she's just another black woman being judged by appearances. The $50 million super yacht, Celestial Dawn, gleams behind Trevor Whitmore as he blocks her path with crossed arms. What he doesn't know is that she owns the company that employs him. What he's about to discover will change his life forever. The most powerful woman in luxury yachting is about to teach an unforgettable lesson about respect, assumptions, and the price of prejudice. What would you do if someone judged you before knowing who you really are? Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Little does Trevor know, his next decision will cost him everything. Maya steps out of the standard Uber at Star Island Marina, deliberately avoiding her usual executive transport. The Miami sun beats down on her loose black dress as she surveys the gleaming yachts lined along the exclusive dock. Today's quarterly surprise inspection wasn't supposed to include Celestial Dawn, but a whistleblower's tip about discriminatory practices changed her plans. She observes from a distance first. The 180-foot vessel sits pristine in the water, its crew of 12 moving in coordinated precision. Everything appears perfect until she notices the subtle details that reveal underlying rot. The black dock worker receives curt nods instead of friendly greetings. The Hispanic cleaning staff gets barked instructions rather than professional courtesy. The hierarchy operates on appearance rather than position. Trevor Whitmore emerges from the yacht's main salon, tablet in hand, projecting the authority of someone who's never questioned his right to judge others. At 35, he's climbed Neptune's ranks through networking and careful image management. His family's old money connections opened doors, but he's convinced himself his success stems purely from merit. His eyes find Maya across the dock, and she watches his instant assessment play across his features. The slight stiffening of posture, the professional smile that doesn't reach his eyes, the way he positions himself to create a barrier between her and the yacht. She's witnessed this reaction countless times, the automatic assumption that a black woman in modest attire couldn't possibly belong in luxury spaces. Maya approaches with quiet confidence, her business demeanor carefully masked behind sunglasses and hat. Her cover story is prepared. Potential charter client conducting preliminary inspection for a high-profile family event. She's performed this test dozens of times across her fleet, but something about Trevor's energy suggests this encounter will be different. The marina buzzes with typical afternoon activity. Other yacht crews greet wealthy clients with eager professionalism. Maya notes the stark contrast as Trevor's crew glances at her with barely concealed skepticism. The bias isn't just Trevor's, it's systemic, embedded in the culture he's fostered. She reaches the gangway where Trevor waits, his smile polite but cold. The moment of truth approaches. Trevor's first words will reveal exactly what kind of manager he really is. "Good afternoon," Maya says pleasantly, removing her sunglasses with practiced grace. "I'm here regarding the charter inquiry for the Morrison family event." Trevor's expression shifts subtly. He doesn't recall any Morrison inquiry, but more importantly, he's studying Maya's appearance with unconcealed skepticism. Her dress is elegant but not designer, her accessories understated. In his world, serious yacht clients arrive in Bentleys wearing Cartier. "I'm sorry, miss." He deliberately pauses, forcing her to identify herself while blocking the gangway. "Ms. Richardson, the family is considering several vessels for their anniversary celebration. The inquiry should have come through your booking system yesterday." Trevor glances at his tablet theatrically, scrolling with exaggerated thoroughness. "I'm not seeing anything under Morrison. Are you sure you have the right yacht?" His tone carries subtle condescension, the implication clear. She's probably confused, possibly at the wrong marina entirely. Maya maintains perfect composure while internally cataloging every microaggression. The deliberate skepticism. The failure to invite her aboard for discussion. The way he's positioned himself as gatekeeper rather than service provider. This matches exactly what the whistleblower described. Perhaps there was a communication delay, she suggests reasonably. May I speak with your charter coordinator to clarify? Our charter coordinator only meets with pre-qualified clients, Trevor responds smoothly. Perhaps you could provide some references, previous yacht experiences, budget parameters. The questions aren't unreasonable on their surface, but his delivery transforms routine qualification into interrogation. Maya watches two middle-aged white men board a nearby yacht without any such scrutiny, their casual polo shirts and khakis, apparently sufficient credentials. I understand your need for qualification, Maya replies calmly. The Morrison family prefers discretion in their initial inquiries. Perhaps we could arrange a brief tour to assess suitability. Trevor's smile becomes patronizing. Ms. Richardson, I'm sure you understand that Celestial Dawn caters to a very specific clientele. Our charter rates start at $50,000 per day, plus expenses. Perhaps one of the smaller vessels down the dock might be more appropriate for your needs. The word appropriate hangs in the air like a slap. Maya feels the familiar fire rising but keeps her expression neutral. 20 years of breaking barriers have taught her patience, but Trevor is about to learn that patience has limits. Maya's response will either escalate this confrontation or set a trap he'll never see coming. I appreciate your guidance, Maya says, her voice steady as steel. However, the Morrison family specifically requested this vessel. Perhaps I could speak with your manager? Trevor's laugh is soft but cutting. I am the manager, Ms. Richardson, and I'm telling you that without proper credentials and pre-qualification, I cannot allow unauthorized individuals aboard this vessel. The word unauthorized hits like a physical blow. Maya has stood on yacht decks with royalty, shaken hands with billionaires in these same waters, built relationships that span continents. Yet here she stands, being treated like a potential threat by her own employee. A small crowd begins to gather. Other yacht crew members pause their tasks, sensing confrontation. Maya notices the Hispanic cleaning staff watching with knowing looks. They've witnessed this performance before. The black dock worker stops his work entirely, recognizing the familiar scene of exclusion. Sir, Maya tries once more, perhaps you could at least provide information about charter availability? I'm not asking to board immediately, just to discuss. Ma'am, Trevor interrupts, his voice rising slightly, I need you to understand something. This is a private vessel worth $50 million. We cannot have random people wandering around, asking questions, wasting our time with inquiries they cannot afford. The crowd grows. Maya feels dozens of eyes on her, witnessing her humiliation. A white couple in tennis attire boards the yacht next door without Trevor even glancing their way. The contrast is deliberate, performative. Trevor continues, emboldened by his audience. Now, if you'd like to leave your contact information, we can certainly add you to our mailing list for future opportunities that might be more suitable for your budget range. He extends a basic business card, not the premium materials reserved for serious clients, but cheap cardstock with basic printing. The gesture is designed to put her in her place, to make clear she's receiving charity consideration, not professional respect. Maya takes the card slowly, studying it with apparent interest. Celestial Dawn Yacht Charters, she reads aloud. Managed by Neptune Marine Holdings. That's correct, Trevor says proudly. Neptune is the largest luxury yacht management company in the world. Only the best clients work with us. Interesting, Maya murmurs, turning the card over in her hands. And you represent Neptune's standards of customer service? Something in her tone makes Trevor hesitate, but his pride overrides caution. I represent Neptune's commitment to excellence and exclusivity. We maintain very high standards for our clientele. Maya nods thoughtfully, then slides the card into her simple handbag alongside her phone. Well then, I suppose I should make a call. Ma'am, you can make all the calls you want, but… Actually, Maya interrupts quietly, I think I'll make this call right here. You might find it educational. She pulls out her phone with deliberate slowness, her fingers moving across the screen with purpose. Trevor watches, confused by her sudden confidence, unaware that he's about to witness the moment his career ends. The phone number Maya is dialing will change everything Trevor thought he knew about power. Maya steps slightly away from Trevor, phone pressed to her ear. Her voice is calm, professional, but carries an undertone that makes the dock worker stop and listen. James, it's Maya. I need you to pull the employment files for Celestial Dawn immediately. She pauses, watching Trevor's face begin to change. Yes, the Miami location. Specifically, I want Trevor Whitmore's complete record, including any customer complaints or HR incidents. Trevor's confident smile falters. The name Maya Richardson suddenly sounds familiar, but he can't place where he's heard it. The crowd around them has grown larger, sensing drama about to unfold. Maya continues her call, her voice carrying clearly across the dock. Also, contact our legal department. I want discrimination protocol activated for Celestial Dawn, effective immediately. Full documentation required. Excuse me, Trevor interrupts, his voice uncertain now. Who exactly are you calling? Maya holds up one finger, signaling him to wait while she finishes. James, one more thing. Contact the Maritime Licensing Board. I want to know if our management contracts are being fulfilled according to anti-discrimination clauses. She ends the call and turns back to Trevor, whose face has gone pale. The other crew members are watching intently now, whispering among themselves. Someone has clearly recognized something. Now then, Maya says pleasantly, where were we? Oh yes, you were explaining Neptune's commitment to excellence and exclusivity. Trevor's mind races. Maya Richardson. Maya Richardson. And then it hits him like a tsunami. The quarterly newsletter. The company all-hands meetings he rarely attends. The signature on his employment contract. He whispers. I'm Maya Richardson, CEO and founder of Neptune Marine Holdings. Your boss. Your boss's boss. The person who signs your paychecks and, more importantly, the person who just witnessed you discriminate against a potential client based solely on the color of her skin. The dock goes silent except for the gentle lapping of waves against yacht hulls. Trevor's world tilts on its axis. Everything he thought he understood about this interaction, about power, about his position, crumbles in real time. Maya continues, her voice still calm, but now carrying the weight of absolute authority. For the past 10 minutes, you've demonstrated exactly why our company has been receiving discrimination complaints about this location. You've refused service to a potential client, made assumptions based on race and appearance, and violated every principle Neptune Marine Holdings stands for. Trevor opens his mouth, but no words come. His crew members are backing away, recognizing the career-ending magnitude of what they've witnessed. The Morrison family, by the way, is a test client we use for quality assurance. They don't exist. But your reaction to what you perceived as an inappropriate black woman requesting yacht services, that's very real, that's very documented, and that's very much grounds for immediate termination. Maya adjusts her hat and puts her sunglasses back on. James will be here within the hour with your severance paperwork. I suggest you use that time to consider how prejudice just cost you the best job you'll ever have. But Maya's not finished. Trevor's about to discover that losing his job is just the beginning. Trevor's shock transforms into desperate damage control. Ms. Richardson, please. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I was simply following standard security protocols. Security protocols? Maya's eyebrow arches above her sunglasses. Is that what you call asking someone about their budget before they've even stated their needs? Is that what you call suggesting they'd be more appropriate elsewhere? The crowd on the dock has swelled. Word travels fast in marina communities, and the scene of a yacht manager being dressed down by his CEO is irresistible entertainment. Phone cameras appear, capturing every moment of Trevor's unraveling. I didn't know it was you, Trevor stammers, immediately realizing how damning that sounds. Exactly, Maya says sharply. You didn't know it was me, so you felt comfortable treating me with disrespect. That tells me everything about your character and nothing about your policies. Trevor's crew members exchange glances. They've seen him operate for months, witnessed the subtle prejudices, the way service quality varied based on client appearance. Now they're watching those chickens come home to roost. Please, Trevor tries again. Give me a chance to explain. The yacht industry requires certain discretion measures. Trevor. Maya's voice cuts through his excuses like a blade. Stop talking. Every word you speak is making this worse for yourself and providing more evidence for the discrimination lawsuit Neptune will undoubtedly face because of your actions. The word lawsuit hits Trevor like ice water. His family's connections, his carefully cultivated network, his future in the industry, all of it threatened by 10 minutes of revealed prejudice. Maya turns to address the gathered crew. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something clearly. What you've witnessed here is not just poor customer service, it's discrimination. It violates federal law, company policy, and basic human decency. The crew members nod nervously, some clearly recognizing similar incidents they've witnessed or participated in under Trevor's leadership. Over the next several hours, each of you will be interviewed by our HR department and legal team. Your employment status will depend entirely on your level of participation in discriminatory practices and your willingness to be part of the solution going forward. Trevor realizes his entire crew is about to turn against him to save their own careers. Trevor watches his crew's loyalty evaporate in real time. The first mate, Carlos, steps forward hesitantly. Ms. Richardson, ma'am, I have some things I need to report about how operations have been run here. Carlos, no! Trevor's desperation shows. We're a team here. We've always... A team? Carlos interrupts, his accent thickening with emotion. You made me clean the guest quarters 3 extra times when the Martinez family chartered last month. Said they probably weren't used to real cleanliness. Maya's expression hardens. Continue, Carlos. He has different service protocols depending on client appearance, different welcome procedures. Some guests get champagne greeting, others get... Carlos gestures helplessly. Others get security screening. More crew members find their voices. The chief stewardess, Angela, speaks up. He told me to keep an eye on certain guests, said some people needed extra watching because they weren't yacht people. Each revelation hits Trevor like a physical blow. His carefully maintained facade is crumbling as subordinates reveal the systematic discrimination he's fostered. Maya pulls out her phone again. James? Yes, it's worse than we thought. I need a full investigation team here immediately. Civil rights violations, hostile workplace environment, the complete package. Trevor's legs feel weak. Please, Ms. Richardson. My family. My reputation. I have a mortgage. Commitments. Trevor, Maya says, turning back to him with cold precision. When you decided to humiliate me on this dock, did you consider my family? My reputation? Did you think about the psychological impact of discrimination on its victims? The question hangs in the salt air like an indictment. Trevor has no answer because he's never considered the human cost of his prejudices. Maya continues, what you're experiencing right now, the fear, the vulnerability, the sense that your future is in someone else's hands, that's what you put people through every day with your discrimination. The difference is you earned this. They didn't. A black Escalade pulls up to the marina entrance. Maya glances toward it and nods. That's my legal team. Trevor, you have exactly 5 minutes to clear your personal belongings from the yacht. After that, you're trespassing on Neptune Marine property. Trevor's nightmare is just beginning. The legal team has evidence that could destroy more than just his career. Trevor scrambles toward the yacht to collect his belongings, but Maya's voice stops him cold. Actually, Trevor, you won't be going aboard alone. Carlos will escort you and document everything you remove. We need to ensure no company property or client information leaves with you. The humiliation is complete. Trevor, who minutes ago was the authority figure controlling access to the yacht, now needs permission and supervision to retrieve his personal items. The power dynamic is flipped so thoroughly it gives bystanders whiplash. Maya's legal team approaches, 3 attorneys in sharp suits carrying briefcases and tablets. The lead attorney, a distinguished black woman in her 50s, extends her hand to Maya. Ms. Richardson, I'm Sarah Chen from our legal department. We've been monitoring the situation through your security details live feed. Trevor's eyes widen. Security detail? Live feed? Trevor, Maya explains patiently, as CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, I never travel without security. Everything that happened here has been recorded in 4K video from multiple angles. Your discrimination wasn't just witnessed, it's documented evidence. The color drains from Trevor's face completely. Video evidence means no possibility of his version of events being accepted, no chance to spin the narrative or claim misunderstanding. Attorney Chen continues, Mr. Whitmore, you should know that Neptune Marine Holdings takes discrimination extremely seriously. We'll be filing reports with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, and the Florida Commission on Human Relations. Additionally, another attorney adds, we'll be conducting a comprehensive audit of your management practices. Every client interaction, every crew decision, every service protocol will be examined for discriminatory patterns. Trevor realizes the scope of his catastrophe. This isn't just about losing one job. His entire career in hospitality is finished. The maritime industry is smaller than people realize, and news of discrimination lawsuits travels fast. Maya watches Trevor's realization with satisfaction, but not cruelty. This is justice, not revenge. Trevor, you had power over people's livelihoods, their dignity, their opportunities. You abused that power based on prejudice. Now you'll face the consequences. Have you ever witnessed workplace discrimination? Share your story in the comments. Let's support each other. Trevor's personal reckoning is complete, but the corporate consequences are about to shake the entire industry. As Trevor trudges back from the yacht with his box of personal belongings, Maya removes her wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses completely. Her transformation is startling. Without the disguise, she radiates unmistakable executive presence. The crowd murmurs in recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, Maya addresses the gathered dock workers, crew members, and curious bystanders. I want you to understand what just happened here, because it's bigger than one man's prejudice. She stands taller now, every inch the CEO who built a maritime empire from nothing. 22 years ago, I was a young black woman with a business degree and a dream to revolutionize luxury maritime services. I faced discrimination at every turn. Investors who wouldn't meet with me, marina owners who questioned my qualifications, clients who requested different representation. The crowd listens intently. Maya's voice carries across the water with practiced authority. I could have let that discrimination defeat me. Instead, I used it as fuel. Every door that closed because of my race became motivation to build my own doors. Every person who underestimated me became proof that success is the best revenge. Trevor watches from beside his security escort, his box of belongings feeling heavier with each word. Maya continues, Neptune Marine Holdings didn't become the world's largest yacht management company by accident. We succeeded because we serve everyone with excellence, regardless of race, gender, background, or appearance. That's not just good business. It's the right thing to do. She gestures toward the gleaming yachts around them. These vessels represent dreams, celebrations, once-in-a-lifetime experiences. When we deny access based on prejudice, we're not just hurting individuals. We're betraying the very spirit of hospitality that makes this industry meaningful. Attorney Chen steps forward with a tablet. Ms. Richardson, we've completed the preliminary assessment. Trevor's discriminatory practices appear to be systematic and well documented. We have evidence of at least 15 incidents over the past 6 months. Maya nods grimly. 15 families denied proper service. 15 opportunities for prejudice to triumph over professionalism. That ends today. She turns back to Trevor, who looks like he's aged a decade in the past hour. Trevor, your termination is effective immediately. Your final paycheck will be processed according to Florida labor law, minus any company property or training costs that may apply. However, she continues, your legal exposure extends far beyond employment termination. Neptune Marine Holdings will cooperate fully with federal civil rights investigations. If criminal charges are filed for civil rights violations, that's between you and the Department of Justice. Trevor's knees nearly buckle. Criminal charges had never occurred to him. Maya's voice softens slightly but remains firm. I want you to understand something, Trevor. This isn't personal revenge. This is institutional change. For too long, the hospitality industry has tolerated subtle discrimination, written it off as cultural fit or maintaining standards. That era is over. She addresses the remaining Celestial Dawn crew members. You have a choice to make right now. You can be part of the solution or part of the problem. Anyone who participated in or enabled discriminatory practices has 48 hours to provide full disclosure to our HR department. Complete honesty might save your careers. Denial or cover-up will end them. The crew members nod nervously, clearly understanding the gravity of their situation. Maya puts her sunglasses back on, her executive persona now fully revealed. For those of you who witnessed what happened here today, I want you to remember something important. Prejudice always reveals itself eventually. It might take minutes, months, or years, but discrimination cannot hide forever. She looks directly at Trevor one final time. You judged me based on your preconceptions about race, class, and belonging. You never bothered to learn who I was or what I represented. That laziness, that prejudice, just cost you everything you worked for. Trevor opens his mouth to speak, but no words come. What could he possibly say? That he's sorry? That he didn't mean it? That he's not really racist? All of those responses would be lies, and everyone present knows it. Maya signals to her security team. Gentlemen, please escort Mr. Whitmore off Neptune Marine property. He is no longer authorized to be here. As Trevor is led away, Maya turns to address the crowd one final time. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with moments like this. When we refuse to tolerate discrimination, when we hold people accountable for prejudice, when we choose justice over convenience. That's how we build a better industry and a better world. Trevor's personal nightmare is over, but the industry-wide reckoning Maya just triggered is about to reshape everything. Within hours of Trevor's termination, Neptune Marine Holdings' legal machinery springs into full action. Maya returns to her downtown Miami headquarters, a gleaming 40-story tower overlooking Biscayne Bay, where her executive team has already assembled for an emergency strategy session. The boardroom buzzes with controlled urgency. Chief Legal Officer Sarah Chen presents initial findings on a wall-mounted display showing Trevor's employment history, client complaints, and crew testimonials. The pattern is undeniable, Chen reports. 15 documented incidents of differential service based on client appearance. 8 formal complaints filed with Marina management that were dismissed or buried. 23 crew members reporting discriminatory instructions from Trevor. Maya studies the data with grim satisfaction. What's our legal exposure? Significant but manageable, Chen responds. We can demonstrate that Trevor's actions violated company policy and that we took immediate corrective action upon discovery. However, the fact that these practices continued for months without detection suggests systematic oversight failures. Chief Human Resources Officer Michael Torres adds, we're implementing immediate company-wide anti-discrimination training. Every yacht manager will undergo sensitivity coaching, and we're establishing anonymous reporting systems for both crew and clients. Maya nods approvingly. What about the affected clients? We're identifying every guest who may have received substandard service under Trevor's management, Torres continues. Full refunds, formal apologies, and invitations to return with guaranteed premium service. Chief Financial Officer Diana Walsh presents the financial analysis. Estimated cost for full remediation, $2.3 million. That includes legal fees, client compensation, training programs, and new oversight systems. Do it, Maya says without hesitation. Our reputation is worth far more than $2.3 million. Meanwhile, across town, Trevor sits in his luxury apartment, trying to process the magnitude of his downfall. His phone has been ringing constantly. Former colleagues, industry contacts, even his father's business associates wanting to understand what happened. The first news article appears online within 6 hours. Yacht manager fired for discrimination against own CEO. The story spreads rapidly through maritime industry publications, social media, and hospitality trade journals. Trevor's wife, Rebecca, arrives home to find him staring blankly at his laptop screen, reading increasingly damaging coverage of the incident. "Trevor, what the hell happened?" she demands. "Your father called me screaming about something on the news." Trevor shows her the video footage, now viewed over 100,000 times across various platforms. Rebecca watches in horror as her husband systematically humiliates Maya Richardson, unaware he's destroying his own career. "Oh my God, Trevor," Rebecca whispers. "She was testing you, and you failed spectacularly." The phone rings again. This time it's Trevor's attorney, Marcus Webb, calling with worse news. "Trevor, we need to meet immediately. The Department of Justice Civil Rights Division has opened a preliminary investigation. They're treating this as potential criminal civil rights violation under federal law." Trevor's world tilts further off its axis. "Criminal? But I was doing my job." "No, Trevor, you were discriminating based on race. That's a federal crime when it involves public accommodations or employment contexts. Neptune's yachts qualify as public accommodations under the Civil Rights Act." Back at Neptune headquarters, Maya convenes a video conference with her regional managers worldwide. Faces appear on screen from Monaco, Dubai, Sydney, and the Caribbean, the global network she's built over 2 decades. "What happened in Miami today represents a complete failure of our values," Maya tells the assembled managers. "I want every location audited for discriminatory practices within 30 days. Any manager found engaging in prejudicial behavior will be terminated immediately." Regional Manager Philippe Dubois from Monaco raises his hand. "Maya, what about client preferences? Some wealthy clients specifically request certain demographics among crew members." Maya's response is swift and clear. "Philippe, any client who makes hiring decisions based on race, gender, or appearance is no longer welcome with Neptune Marine. We serve everyone with excellence, or we serve no one at all." The message resonates through the global organization. Within days, Neptune implements what becomes known as the Richardson Protocol. Comprehensive anti-discrimination measures that become industry standard. News coverage intensifies as the story gains national attention. CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News all feature segments on workplace discrimination and corporate accountability. Maya appears on Good Morning America to discuss the incident and its broader implications. "This wasn't about revenge," Maya tells interviewer Robin Roberts. "It was about accountability. Discrimination thrives in darkness and dies in sunlight. By exposing Trevor's behavior publicly, we're showing other victims that they don't have to suffer in silence." The interview generates over 5 million views and sparks nationwide conversations about hidden bias in service industries. Trevor's situation deteriorates rapidly. His professional network evaporates as marina operators and yacht companies distance themselves from the controversy. Job prospects disappear overnight as his name becomes synonymous with workplace discrimination. His family's old money connections, once his greatest asset, now become liabilities. The exclusive clubs and social circles that opened doors for him want nothing to do with someone who brought negative attention to their world of privilege. Rebecca serves him with divorce papers within a week, citing irreparable damage to family reputation and financial security. Even his own family abandons him as the scandal reflects poorly on their social standing. The legal consequences mount daily. The EEOC files formal charges. The Florida Commission on Human Relations opens its own investigation. 3 former clients file civil lawsuits claiming discrimination damaged their special events. Most devastating of all, the video footage becomes a case study in business schools and legal seminars, ensuring Trevor's humiliation will be immortalized in academic curricula for decades. Maya, meanwhile, uses the incident to strengthen Neptune's position as an industry leader in diversity and inclusion. She establishes the Richardson Foundation, providing scholarships and mentorship for underrepresented groups entering the maritime industry. Within months, Neptune's client base actually grows as socially conscious, wealthy individuals choose the company specifically because of its anti-discrimination stance. The financial impact is overwhelmingly positive, proving that doing the right thing can also be good business. Trevor's professional destruction is complete, but his legal reckoning is just beginning. 6 weeks after his termination, Trevor sits in a sterile federal courthouse conference room, facing a panel of Department of Justice civil rights investigators. His court-appointed attorney, Marcus Webb, shuffles papers nervously beside him. Mr. Whitmore, lead investigator Janet Martinez, begins. We've reviewed the video evidence, interviewed witnesses, and examined your employment history. The pattern of discriminatory behavior is clear and well documented. Trevor has lost 20 pounds, his once pristine appearance now haggard and defeated. The confident yacht manager who controlled access to luxury vessels has been replaced by a broken man facing federal charges. We're prepared to offer a plea agreement, Martinez continues. Guilty plea to federal civil rights violations, 12 months probation, $50,000 fine, and mandatory participation in court-supervised diversity training. Webb whispers urgently to Trevor, "Take it. If this goes to trial, you're looking at potential prison time." Trevor stares at the plea agreement, his hands shaking. I never thought about it as criminal behavior. I was just maintaining standards." "Mr. Whitmore," Martinez's voice hardens, "denying service based on race isn't maintaining standards. It's a federal crime. You violated Ms. Richardson's civil rights, created a hostile work environment for minority staff, and systematically discriminated against clients of color." The investigation has uncovered a pattern far worse than anyone initially realized. Trevor kept informal notes rating clients by appearance and ethnicity. He maintained separate service protocols for different racial groups. He instructed staff to be extra vigilant with minority guests. "Your own documentation convicts you," Martinez states, sliding a folder across the table. "These are your handwritten notes about clients. Would you like me to read some highlights?" Trevor closes his eyes, knowing what's coming. Martinez reads aloud. "Martinez family, watch belongings closely. Johnson Group, probably first-time yacht people, explain everything twice. Chen wedding party, count silverware after service." Each racist notation hangs in the air like a physical weight. Trevor's attorney looks physically ill reading the evidence against his client. "Furthermore," Martinez continues, "we have testimony from 15 crew members describing your discriminatory instructions. Angela Martinez, your former chief stewardess, recorded several conversations where you used racial epithets to describe guests." Trevor's world collapses completely. The recordings he never knew existed prove premeditated discrimination, not just unconscious bias. I accept the plea agreement," Trevor whispers, his voice barely audible. Martinez nods curtly. "Mr. Whitmore, you'll also be required to participate in victim impact sessions, where you'll hear directly from people affected by your discrimination. Ms. Richardson has agreed to speak at your first session." The thought of facing Maya again terrifies Trevor more than any legal penalty. She holds a mirror to his prejudices that he can't bear to look into. 3 days later, Trevor attends his first victim impact session in a community center conference room. Maya enters wearing a sharp business suit, radiating the executive presence she hid under sunglasses and hat that fateful day. "Trevor," she says simply, taking a seat across from him, Do you understand why we're here? To hear how my actions affected people, he mumbles. No, Maya corrects firmly. We're here so you can understand the human cost of prejudice. Every time you denied quality service based on race, you didn't just affect one transaction. You affected families, celebrations, memories that can never be recreated. She presents a folder of testimonials from affected clients. The Martinez family was celebrating their daughter's quinceañera. Your extra vigilant service ruined what should have been a perfect day. The Johnson Group was a family reunion, their first vacation together in 5 years. Your condescending treatment made them feel unwelcome in spaces they had every right to enjoy. Trevor listens to story after story of special occasions diminished by his prejudice. Weddings, anniversaries, birthday celebrations, all tainted by discrimination he convinced himself was professionalism. The tragedy, Trevor, is that this was completely preventable. All you had to do was treat people with basic respect and dignity. Instead, you chose prejudice. Maya's words cut deeper than any legal penalty. For the first time, Trevor truly understands the human wreckage his biases created. By session's end, Trevor is openly weeping, not from self-pity, but from genuine recognition of the pain he caused. It's the first step toward accountability, though the damage to his life remains irreversible. His name becomes permanently associated with workplace discrimination. His marriage ends, his family disowns him, his career in hospitality is finished forever. Trevor's personal reckoning opens the door for industry-wide transformation that Maya has been planning all along. 6 months after the Celestial Dawn incident, Maya stands before the International Yacht Management Association's annual conference in Monaco. The ballroom is packed with industry leaders, marina operators, and hospitality executives, many who once doubted her vision for inclusive luxury service. The Trevor Whitmore case wasn't an isolated incident, Maya tells the audience. It was a symptom of systemic discrimination that has plagued our industry for decades. Today, I'm announcing the Maritime Inclusion Initiative, a comprehensive program to eliminate bias in luxury hospitality. Behind her, a presentation displays shocking statistics. 40% of yacht workers report witnessing discrimination. 60% of minority clients experienced differential service. 30% of industry managers admit to using appearance-based service protocols. These numbers represent real people with real experiences, Maya continues. The Martinez family's ruined quinceañera, the Johnson reunion marred by condescension, the Chen wedding party treated like potential thieves. Every statistic is someone's diminished joy. The initiative Maya unveils is revolutionary. All participating companies must implement mandatory unconscious bias training, establish anonymous reporting systems, and submit to quarterly diversity audits. Non-compliance results in exclusion from industry partnerships and referral networks. We're not just changing policies, Maya explains. We're changing culture. Discrimination isn't just morally wrong, it's bad business. Studies show diverse, inclusive companies outperform homogeneous ones by 35% in profitability. Major industry players sign on immediately. Marriott International, Four Seasons, and Ritz-Carlton pledge full participation. Within weeks, the Maritime Inclusion Initiative becomes the industry standard. Trevor's case becomes required curriculum in hospitality management programs. His video humiliation is shown in business ethics classes as a cautionary tale about unconscious bias. Students analyze his mistakes, learning to recognize and interrupt discriminatory impulses. The Richardson Protocol spreads beyond yachting into hotels, restaurants, and luxury retail. Companies implement secret shopper programs using diverse testers to identify discriminatory practices before they become legal liabilities. Maya establishes the Inclusion Excellence Awards, recognizing companies that demonstrate outstanding commitment to diversity in luxury service. The first recipients include former competitors who now collaborate on anti-discrimination initiatives. The impact extends to hiring practices. Yacht companies actively recruit diverse crew members, breaking the traditional old boy networks that perpetuated exclusion. Marina operators establish mentorship programs for underrepresented groups entering maritime careers. Trevor's former colleagues face their own reckoning. Several yacht managers lose positions after client complaints reveal discriminatory patterns. The industry message is clear. Prejudice has consequences. Maya's company, Neptune Marine Holdings, becomes the gold standard for inclusive luxury service. Client satisfaction scores reach all-time highs as guests appreciate being treated with universal respect and dignity. The transformation isn't limited to customer service. Supply chains diversify as companies seek minority-owned vendors. Marketing campaigns feature diverse families enjoying yacht experiences. The entire industry visual language shifts from exclusive to inclusive. Most importantly, the change is measurable. Discrimination complaints drop 70% industry-wide. Client diversity increases 45%. Employee satisfaction among minority staff rises dramatically. True luxury, Maya concludes her Monaco speech, isn't about exclusion. It's about making everyone feel special. When we discriminate, we diminish the experience for everyone. When? Maya's transformation of an entire industry sets the stage for her personal reflection on the journey from discrimination to justice. 1 year later, Maya stands on the deck of Celestial Dawn, now managed by Carlos Rodriguez, the former crew member who first spoke up against Trevor's discrimination. The yacht has been transformed into a showcase of inclusive hospitality, hosting diverse families and celebrating the full spectrum of human joy. The Miami Marina buzzes with activity, but the atmosphere has fundamentally changed. Crew members greet all guests with genuine warmth. Marina staff assist visitors regardless of appearance. The subtle hierarchies based on prejudice have given way to professional respect for everyone. Maya removes her sunglasses and looks out over Biscayne Bay, reflecting on the journey from that humiliating afternoon to this moment of quiet satisfaction. Her phone buzzes with a text from Carlos. The Henderson family just left. They said it was the best yacht experience they've ever had. Thank you for giving us the chance to do this right. She smiles, remembering the fear in Carlos's eyes when he first spoke up against Trevor. Now he runs the operation with confidence, proving that courage and competence matter more than connections and prejudice. A young black girl, maybe 8 years old, runs past with her family toward a yacht for their vacation charter. She's laughing, eyes bright with excitement, completely unaware that a year ago she might have faced subtle discrimination that would have dimmed her joy. Maya watches her board the vessel to enthusiastic greetings from the crew. That's the real victory. Not Trevor's downfall, but this child's uncompromised happiness. Maya's assistant approaches with the quarterly diversity reports. The numbers tell a story of transformation. 95% client satisfaction across all demographics, 60% increase in minority crew hiring, 0 discrimination complaints in 8 months. The industry associations want to interview you for their anniversary publication, her assistant mentions. They're calling you the architect of the Great Inclusion Revolution. Maya chuckles at the grandiose title. Tell them I'm just a businesswoman who believes treating people with dignity is good for everyone. She thinks about Trevor, who completed his community service and court-mandated counseling. He now works at a local marina doing basic maintenance, a humbling fall from yacht management but honest work that keeps him connected to the industry he once discriminated within. Last month, Trevor sent her a handwritten letter, not asking for forgiveness or a second chance, but simply acknowledging the harm he caused and thanking her for forcing him to confront his prejudices. It was the first time Maya felt he truly understood the human cost of discrimination. The letter ended with a line that stuck with her. I realize now that when I judged you by your appearance, I wasn't protecting anything valuable. I was just revealing my own limitations. That insight represents the deeper transformation Maya hoped to achieve. Changing policies and procedures is important, but changing hearts and minds is the real work of justice. A notification on her phone shows the Richardson Foundation has awarded its 100th scholarship to underrepresented students entering maritime careers. Each recipient represents a future where diversity isn't revolutionary, but simply normal. Maya adjusts her hat, not to hide her identity this time, but to shield her eyes from the Florida sun as she watches the marina's inclusive bustle. Families of every background board yachts for celebrations and adventures. Crew members reflect the diversity of the communities they serve. The luxury industry has finally learned that true exclusivity isn't about keeping people out. It's about making everyone feel extraordinary. Her transformation of the industry wasn't accomplished through anger or revenge, but through patience, strategy, and unwavering commitment to human dignity. She used her power not to destroy, but to build something better. The moral of her story isn't complicated. Prejudice reveals character, but justice transforms it. Maya's personal journey from victim to victor sets up a final message about the power of turning discrimination into determination. Maya's story proves that discrimination doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can be the beginning of transformation. When Trevor Whitmore looked at her and saw someone who didn't belong, he revealed more about himself than about her. When Maya chose justice over revenge, she showed us the difference between reacting and responding. The video of Trevor's humiliation has been viewed over 10 million times across social platforms. Comments pour in from people sharing their own experiences with discrimination, their moments of being judged by appearance rather than character. Maya's inbox overflows with messages from victims who found courage in her example. "Your story gave me strength to report my supervisor's racist comments," writes Jennifer from Atlanta. "I was promoted to his position last month." "I used to cross the street to avoid confronting prejudice," shares Miguel from Los Angeles. "Now I speak up every time. Thank you for showing us how." These responses remind Maya why she went public with Trevor's discrimination rather than handling it quietly through corporate channels. Sunlight remains the best disinfectant for prejudice, and her story became a beacon for others fighting similar battles. But Maya's work isn't finished. The Maritime Inclusion Initiative has spread to 12 countries, but discrimination persists in countless industries. Her next project targets luxury hotels, where similar patterns of bias diminish experiences for guests who don't fit traditional profiles of wealth. She's also launching the Dignity and Service documentary series, profiling workers across hospitality industries who face discrimination and the companies that are choosing change. Each episode will feature mystery guest testing, similar to Maya's yacht experience, exposing bias while celebrating businesses that serve everyone with excellence. The Trevor Whitmore case study is now taught in business schools worldwide, but Maya wants to expand beyond academic settings. She's developing mobile apps that allow consumers to report discriminatory service immediately, creating real-time accountability for businesses. Should companies do more undercover testing? Hit that like button if you think justice was served, and tell us in the comments, have you ever had to prove your worth because someone judged you by appearance? Your story matters and could inspire someone facing similar challenges. As Maya continues her mission to eliminate discrimination in luxury service, she carries the lesson learned that day on the Miami dock. True power isn't the ability to exclude others, but the strength to include everyone with dignity and respect. Her final thought as she watches the sunset from Celestial Dawn's deck is simple but profound. When we lift others up, we all rise higher. Prejudice reveals character, but justice transforms it.